Take it from here. A little bit of technical difficulties might have the quality of this video be lower than I would want, but the Giants pick is in. This is a huge pick. Of course, it's going to be spoiled for you guys slightly before I see it. I have my screen cut off, but on the screen I have it so that you can see what pick is in and what player is being drafted. So you might see it a little bit earlier at the top of your screen. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know what pick it is, so there's no point in even mentioning how it's being spoiled very slightly, because you know, you already know who it is. You see it in the title, you see it in the thumbnail, and it should be really interesting here. A bunch of really good players still on the board. You look at some of the top safeties available. I would love Grant Delpit here. I think this is excellent value for Grant Delpit. I would love Xavier McKinney here. This is excellent value for Xavier McKinney. The top edge guys are still available. You Gross Matos. You could go offensive line again, double dip, and go either Lloyd Cushenberry if you want to upgrade at center. You could even take Josh Jones or Ezra Cleveland to play tackle on the other side, because Nate Solder's clearly not in the future. And, I mean, you could even go receiver here. There's so many talented receivers that are still on the board. And they decide to go to commercial. I guess I'll have more watch time on the video. That's fine. But, yeah, man, this is a really interesting spot for the Giants because they have so many needs. And they took arguably their biggest need in the first. And now they're in a position where they can go best player available. I'm not sure that any of the linebackers are worth taking at this point, unless you prefer to go with a player like Jeremy Chin out of Southern Illinois, who has that linebacker flexibility and can play strong safety for you. Kyle Duggar, I think, would be a decent pick here. Obviously, I don't see the value in maybe a Kyle Duggar or Jeremy Chin over Grant Delpit or over Xavier McKinney, but I just think the value on the safeties here is too much to pass up. That being said, receiver is still a big need for the Giants. Golden Tate is aging and was somewhat productive last year, struggled to create separation. Darius Slayton had a breakout year, but there's not too much else. There really isn't. Giants could go with the top tight end available. Maybe that's Cole Kmet. They just have so many needs, and I'm not really sure I can tell you guys, you know, which position this is going to definitively be, because I don't even know that I could narrow it down. Maybe the Giants say, hey, Jalen Johnson's the best player on our board, and we do need cornerback, even with DeAndre Baker being a first-round pick last year, even with the addition of James Bradbury in free agency. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential for this pick here. The Giants could go in so many different areas because the team is so terrible, which is an unfortunate spot. No, how can you even be a Giants fan saying the team's not amazing? I'm a realist, and the fact of the matter is the Giants have, combined for 9 wins over the past 2 seasons, something close to that, which is not going to cut it, because that's maybe you get into the playoffs with 9 wins in 1 season, and they combine for that in 2. They're obviously in a big rebuilding phase. You hope that maybe you got your quarterback of the future in Daniel Jones. Last year, he looked great sometimes and looked terrible other times, but that's, you know, the struggles of a rookie quarterback. This pick has been in for a minute now, and I'm excited to see who the Giants are going to take. This is a big moment for me every single year who the Giants end up drafting, and I am nervous because I just get nervous at these type of things. So pick is in, back from commercial. Moment of truth is quickly approaching. Sure, the Giants signed Blake Martinez, signed Kyler Fackrell, who's maybe more of an edge guy, even though he's not too good in general, and Blake Martinez wasn't particularly good in Green Bay, even though he racked up the tackles. But, you know, I'd rather have a tackle at the line of scrimmage than 8 yards downfield where he got most of his tackles. But here we go, man. I'm excited. I mean, I love the draft, but I don't really think the Giants could screw this up too badly. And I say that, and that's almost like they're going to find a way to screw it up badly, but there are just so many good players available. This is such a stacked draft class. Antoine Winfield Jr. would even be a great pick. He has such flexibility in a secondary. He could play safety, he could play nickel corner. There are so many different options that they can go with. But Marlon Davidson would be great. If the Giants were going to take an interior defensive lineman, that's the one. I wouldn't even mind Ross Blacklock. Like, they're probably more of a Neville Gallimore type team if they're going to take a defensive tackle because they value that leadership, and he's a senior, and that's what the Giants are all about, at least in the past with Jerry Reese. A little bit with Dave Gettleman so far, but this is a really interesting spot. Robert Hunt out of Louisiana could be good. But here is the pick. We've stalled for long enough. Pick was in for like 7 minutes. However long this video is. But I'm going to raise the volume for the pick here.
What you do and what you continue to do in these uncertain times. Thank you.
Don't let me down, Goodell.
With the 36th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Xavier McKinney.
Yes. 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 Xavier McKinney. Right, so the X-Man is off yes. Board, means it's time for number 18 on my big board. He was the last true first-round grade that I gave out. Xavier McKinney is a New York Giant. I'm elated and ecstatic and excited. So many different E words. Well, no surprise, we're starting Xavier McKinney. This is such a talented player. This is someone that is a monster in the box. This is like your upgraded Landon Collins to a degree because this guy can play over the top a little bit as well. He ran slow at the combine, but he plays way faster on tape. This guy is super instinctive. Xavier McKinney is a stud. You were wondering what team was finally going to take him. This was a first-round player in my mind. So I am so excited that the Giants were able to snag him at the top of the second round, as they've had no help at safety at all over the past few years. I know they brought in Jabril Peppers. They signed 35-year-old Antoine Bethea. Terrible. But Xavier McKinney is a bona fide stud that can really do it all in the secondary, in the box, tackling machine. He's going to be a really, really nice pairing with Jabril Peppers. The Giants now are working towards a fantastic safety duo. I have such high hopes for Xavier McKinney. He's just a beast, man. I could not be any more excited with this pick. I would have been stoked with Grant Delpit as well, but Xavier McKinney is a stud. He was my best player available, and the Giants said, all right, we agree, and they took him, and that's just so awesome to me. This was my favorite pick of the draft so far. I think Andrew Thomas filled a big need, but I think the value for the spot here was Xavier McKinney and filling a need and addressing the defensive side of the ball. I could not be any more excited with this pick. Xavier McKinney is a New York Giant. I'm in on this. That's fantastic, but that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more draft content, more Giants content as well. I'm reacting to a lot of the picks that they're going to be taking, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. All right, let's fucking get it.